Nick Naveau, Fire and Rice Lansing and Ann Arbor. I am a chef. I've been cooking for practically my whole working career, almost 16 years now. Started off in the dish room, worked up and opened many restaurants and so forth. And Fire and Rice is kind of a unique in-between of that, food truck and catering company. Jimmy had come back a couple days later after showing it to me and said him and his buddies were going to go down to Naples to check it out during their normal Super Bowl get-together. Went down and saw Chef Paul and his team at the 3rd Street Farmers Market right there in downtown Naples. Tried the food, everyone loved it, and came back and said, "It looks great, I think this is something I want to do." The ultimate open kitchen was one thing I think that really sold me versus being in a food truck, cooking food in a truck or behind the scenes of any restaurant. A lot of restaurants I'd worked in previous to this had all been open kitchens, so it really intrigued me there. The other side of it was the scalability. I saw these small pans and I've seen all over the world these large pans. And I was like, okay, this is different in the fact that scalability, I can go do a private party at someone's house and do a small pan, or we can go do a large music festival like we did this weekend. And it was like, okay, this is something different that another food truck can't do. They're not going to go to somebody's house for a 10-person party. If they go to a large music festival, where are they cooking all this food? How are they cooking it in large batches? And so these are two of the things at the very beginning really, really intrigued my thoughts and my interest into Fire and Rice. We can really teach just about anyone from a very novice home cook to maybe one of the worst cooks in America up into some of the top chefs in the world cooking this dish. So very unique, very different, and just sold me from the beginning. Owning something for my own, what was scary? It was something I've never done before, and rolling the dice on a concept I didn't see or taste, and just said, let's do this. So I think that was probably one of my biggest apprehensions, just that, can I really do this on my own, owning my first business for the first time? And I had a business partner too, but I think that was my own personal apprehensions at the time. As far as apprehensions of Fire and Rice, again, where it all started was just a very unique part in my life and where I had been in my past. Was probably my first apprehension. My second one would have been, it was very narrow, very focused on one thing, and is that great for a concept? I don't know. That was one thing that I was like, is this good? We do one thing, we do it really well, but is it going to be enough to scale and grow and build into something great? Didn't take me very long, even after our first event, to realize that, wow, this is very unique, and it's a very old dish. It is very simple. We use some of the best ingredients in the world in cooking it. You look at the size of the pans and stuff, so it can be intimidating for people to see that size of pan. Like, how do you actually cook in that size pan? Like, how does that work? But it's really, we've had some employees of mine that haven't really cooked on any scale whatsoever, and we've been able to teach them, this is how we cook it, and they love it. And now those employees that have never had cooking experience before want to cook just about every time they come out. Paul has really built a good business for himself down in Naples based on the farmers markets. So that was kind of the avenue we took the first year to kind of get ourselves off the ground and start putting our name out there and letting people know what we do. So first year, again, we just did 2 farmers markets and Uncle John's, so no catering the first year. Second year, we expanded into the 10 farmers markets, started picking up some other events as we went, and the catering started to build. We started off the first month, we didn't do any. Second month, we did a couple. Going into July, we did a couple more, and it really started to build into that second year. And that's exactly what we wanted to see for the growth of our business, is starting off doing all these markets, kind of expanding our wings, and wanted to see that catering expand with it. So going from, a handful, less than 10 events, 10 catering events over our first 2 years, to hitting that number in our first 2 months open of our third year really shows that we got our name out there and really let that catering start to build. Getting into our third month of our third season here, we've over tripled the amount of catering we did in the first 2 years open. My phone is ringing off the hook. We're in the third year of our business. I just got 2 more calls for events next weekend we had to turn down. We've got a very large event next weekend. The phone is just ringing off the hook. I had eight voicemails that from Friday to Monday that I had to tackle today and get back to some people. So the business is growing and enough to where at some point I'm gonna have to have someone manage my phone. No, I'm just kidding. But the phone is ringing off the hook, and the business is growing just like we wanted it to and anticipated it would. From the 10-person party up to a 1,500 pint day, selling 1,500 portions is something that we can do. We can scale down or scale up. And getting into these festivals, you just start off with some smaller ones and it kind of snowballs. So we got into a smaller, 3,000 person music festival in downtown Lansing earlier this year. One of the gentlemen running those events saw us, saw what we did, saw the uniqueness, and was like, I need you at Mopop. Just so happened that I was already viewing Mopop in my phone and my browser, and picked up my phone and showed him that, hey, we were looking at getting into this event. This is awesome. But you get into events, even if they are the smaller ones, you do it, you execute, you show what we do and who we are. And the people that are running those events most of the time run other events across the state and across the country, and allows us to expand our wings and get into some more events as we grow. So I have a very unique relationship with the franchisor, and I think getting into the startup of a franchise, sometimes the franchisor trying to build it isn't sure what his relationship is going to be with the franchisees because he's growing, he's figuring that out. He's never had a franchise before. And getting into that, I think Paul's done a phenomenal job with getting our product on time, having great communication with us whenever needed. Being able to help us through issues, because he spent 7 years now doing it. I think definitely at the beginning of his career has made the mistakes that we think that we want to branch off and try. Well, no, I've already done that. It doesn't work. Or yeah, we already did it and now we're here with that. We made that mistake, or we figured that out and this is what we've molded it into. So the support we get from Chef Paul and his team down there in Naples is second to none. I have worked with other franchise groups. I was the part of the franchisor helping manage the franchisees, and I think the support that we get is phenomenal. I don't really think there's really any way at this point and where we're at that it could get any better. I do get some products shipped out from Chef Paul. I get a lot of my products locally, but getting our products on time and having the support we need is phenomenal. I am beyond pleased with taking the leap of faith and jumping into this business. I thank Jimmy for introducing it to me. I thank Chef Paul for coming up with it a long time ago. I knew we could grow this thing. I didn't imagine that at year 3 we would be where we're at right now, having 2 trailers traveling all over the state. I was telling some potential franchisees this weekend that came to check us out at Mopop, I'm like, this is it for me. This is what I'm gonna do until I retire. I believe in this brand. I believe in Paul, I believe in Fire and Rice, and I believe we're gonna take this to a whole nother level.